Well, hello, gorgeous, and welcome to this week's Weekly Freak. It is for the week of February 21st to 27th, and I'm your host, Tara Kindon. I'm so excited to dive into the energy and the frequency of this week so that you can navigate your energy, your emotions in a more powerful, confident way, having a deep understanding of what's moving through and what you might be experiencing or playing with this week. So if we think about experimenting with this as opposed to being hit with this energy, it gives it a more fun flavor, a more Venusian flavor, which is what we want: fun, play, passion, and purpose for this week ahead. So when we are looking at the chart, I'm going to share with you my screen to show you the chart for the week ahead. Well, it's going to be for Monday, and then I'm just going to mention the other gates that it's going to move through. And of course, we always follow up on Friday with Venus vibes, so you get a chance to really hone in on your Venusian energies for the weekend ahead and feel into more of your passionate, creative side towards the end of the week. But you can do it at any time once you're aware of where Venus is going to be. So I'm going to leave that there. But I want to mention this. So a little disclaimer here. Your natal chart is always the number one chart for you to pay attention to, be really aware of, intimately know it, because this is your energetic signature. What we're looking at every week is what's transiting. So as the planets are moving, they're lighting up new areas of your chart to explore and experience the energy. So you may get access to new centers, new gates, and new channels created from your natal gates meeting up with a transiting gate, which creates a channel and new fun definition. So think of every weekly freak as like, ooh, what am I experimenting with this week ahead? Or what am I really going to get to go deeper into as far as my own personal energy? So now let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen with you and walk you through Monday's chart. So I've pulled it for Toronto time, Eastern Standard Time at noon. Okay. And the gates generally move noon and midnight. Okay. But without needing to know all of these things, just stay kind of on the surface to be like, okay, this is the energy I'm playing with. How can I integrate this? Because we don't want you to be so deep that you forget, because there's a lot of information and we're a little bit overwhelmed with life in general. So try to stay with that new perspective or above the fray, remembering that, okay, this is what's flowing through. How does this work with my own chart? So we will be looking at the personality side and not focused on the design side. The difference is the personality. This is very defined. You're very aware of. It's not unconscious. Can be running on autopilot in the background. And some who are highly attuned or more sensitive may feel this more dominantly, but it really is so subtle. It's a subtle energy. So we're going to focus on design. Or personality, pardon me. So the black here, okay? So when you're looking at this chart, we will be covering off the planets and the luminaries, but we will not be going into the moon because the moon moves 2 gates a day. It moves fast, right? So the nice thing to remember is if you're feeling highly emotional or highly attuned to how you're feeling, this too shall pass because it moves so quickly. So we're going to start our week with where we're grounded. I always like to start with the earth because the earth is like what grounds us, what keeps us feeling safe, secure, and rooted into the earth, right? Even if we are star babies, we are here on this physical plane and having a physical experience. So the earth starts us out in gate 59. Well, gate 59 is about sustainability. So what are you doing to create a sustainable existence right now for yourself? With everything kind of in high action externally to us, what are you doing to feel sustainable? Because through the week, the earth will move into gate 40, which is the gate of restoration, reminding us to restore our own selves first before we try to restore, externally to us. And it's interesting because the sun will start in gate 55, which is the gate of faith. And then it will move into peace. So you think about being able to sustain yourself, to restore yourself, to move from faith to peace, having the faith that we will reach a peaceful place. And this starts with us first. So regardless of what's happening around you, what can you do for yourself to create a feeling of sustainability, to move yourself into feeling more restored, so that you can move yourself from having the faith things are going to be a little bit different into peace, be peaceful or at peace with what is. Okay. So the sun is always where we're shining, where we are being illuminated. So paying attention to that. Then we're going to move down into Mercury. And Mercury here is starting out in gate 41, which is the gate of creation, but moves into attunement. Okay. So we'll move into attunement down here. And this is being able to communicate or tune into situations, right? So situations in your imagination. I think I said creation. Sorry, gate 41 is imagination. And then it will move into gate 19, which is attunement. So as we're tuning into the situations to really be aware of or feel what's not being said, because remember, this is Mercury. Mercury is about communication, how we communicate, how we receive information, how we learn, how we process information, how we are digesting this information. Okay. And then we find ourselves with Venus in gate 54. So gate 54 is where Venus and Mars are. They will be here until later in the week when they move up towards the head into the gate of wonder, but they're down here in 54, right over here, and they are getting and receiving divine inspiration. So all that's going on, what are we receiving? Little insights, inspirations, nuggets of ideas we want to potentially move forward in our lives, because it could be really juicy, really exciting, and very blended with that feminine creative energy and that masculine action, asking us to kind of meld into where we need to receive the insights and information in order to gestate that idea to bring forward into action when the time is right. And when we move into wonder, it's allowing us to play in the space of potentiality. So you may be receiving or have received a really juicy, big, fun idea, and maybe it's not huge. It's just this like, ooh, that feels like exciting. Then let your mind play in the space of what if, how could this work? Instead of trying to figure it out, you're just playing in the space of wonder, potentiality, and playing in what could be. Okay. So these are your personal planets. Now we're going to move into the outer planets, dealing with our Jupiter, Saturn. We're going to talk about Neptune and Pluto. I'm not going deep into Uranus and Chiron isn't even showing up here, but let's talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is in gate 63, which is also up in the head. And Jupiter is the blessings, the gifts, what we're being gifted with, and it's curiosity. How can we be more curious about what is happening around us and within us? Curious about what is next, what could be next, what is possible, what could we, play in this space of curiosity around, like, ooh, I'm curious about this, or I wonder, like you see how they're playing together up here in the head and giving us such a nice new look at things, perspective, different perspective. And then we move into Saturn. And remember, Saturn is our authority. It's the boss. It's the structures in our lives. And it is in the gate 13 first. Okay. So gate 13 is the gate of narrative. What is the story we're telling about ourselves? What's the story we tell ourselves? Because that story is reflected from the heart into the world, because it's sitting on the heart chakra, the heart center. Okay. So what's the story you're telling about your experience right now? What's the story you're saying or sharing about what is happening? Maybe in the world at large, maybe in your own personal situation. Be very conscious of the words that you use, because narrative is going to then move into the catalyst to really catalyze something, to move something forward. And the catalyst is down here in 49. So remember, I had mentioned earlier that Mercury, okay, so communication is there, tuning into what's not being said. So this could be the story that you're running on loop in your mind about life, the situation, whatever. And then it's going to move. Okay. So this energy of Saturn, structures, authority, is going to move into catalyst, cultivating something to happen, making something happen, changing the way of things that are. And what's cool is Mercury will be right on in here talking, creating this beautiful channel from the root, so that pressure to get things done, into how do I really feel about this? So be very conscious of the story that you're telling yourself about the situation you're in or you're experiencing in your life. Now, Neptune here is in the gate of surrender. And this is about surrendering, allowing ourselves to be in the flow. Remember, we're in Pisces season right now, which is all about creativity, all about flow, all about getting lost in the subconscious, playing in, maybe this is a great time for you to go and do some subconscious clearing or some work that helps you to release yourself from emotions that are weighing you down, holding you down, keeping you hostage in your own life. How can you surrender into more flow and find yourself in a rhythm that feels really juicy and delicious and lovely? Now, Pluto is down here off of the root as well, in the gate of conservation. Remembering that we are gestating whatever the idea is, right? We're playing in the potentials. We're conserving our energy because we're creating something new. I mean, we're moving into Aries season next month. So it's like play in this space of creativity, of flow, of potentiality. Let Mars and Venus bring in those divine inspirations, and then play in what would it feel like? Maybe you want to move. Maybe you want to start a new business. Maybe you want to, do something creative and fun, just for fun. Do it. This is definitely the week to play in all of the potentialities and all the fun. And it's, this chart is an emotional manifesting generator. So you may be like on, all the ideas are coming through at once. Just go and do whatever is calling to you and feeling really good and fun and special. That's what you should be doing. That feels good for you, because feeling good is the key. It's the gift. Feeling good, being connected to your feminine energy, allowing yourself to be in the flow, and also to be keeping a list. So maybe you have a little book. I have a little book for ideas, and I write down all of the juicy ideas that I get, because I know they're not all for me. I share them with other people. Clients, it's just the thing I love to do, is sharing ideas that will help move somebody forward, right? And take their lioness power back. So before I let you go today, I just want to talk about the 23rd. So the 23rd is on Wednesday, and Mars will sextile Neptune. So your intuition will be highly sharpened. Your creativity could reach new heights. So on Wednesday, if you're feeling like inspired or fired up or powered up about something, that is the day to really write down those insights. Pay attention to what's coming forward, and don't judge it. Whatever comes out, write it down. You can go back to it later, but let it all flow and come out. Then the 24th, the next day, we have Mercury squaring Uranus, let's say Aquarius, Taurus. And so it's not a day for contracts. It's not a day to move something. Like if you've got travel plans, just be conscious there may be delays. But because Mercury rules contracts and Uranus likes to shake things up, it's not a great day to commit to something or purchase something big. be aware of that. That's the 24th. And also on the 24th, Venus is sextiling Neptune. And sextiles are what Anne Ortley likes to call when the planets are having sex, which is kind of funny. But remember, it's like love, glamour, opulence, the two planets of love and happiness, coming together and allowing yourself to just be showered in all that stardust, all that glorious love juice. Let it go, let it flow, and feel into all your Venus vibes, because the next day we'll be talking about Venus vibes, the 25th. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Hopefully you found this helpful in giving you some insights into yourself, into what to expect for this week, and how you can utilize this creative, powerful, flowing week. Harness that creativity through writing, through visualizing, through whatever will help you move it forward. So I'm going to stop the share. Give you all so much love and see you next week. I thank you so much for being here. Remember, if you have yet to get my Venus activation meditation, please get it. I'm putting it in the notes below so that you can go ahead and get that one, or just go to my website, www.terakindon.com/Venus activation meditation. And it is there for you. You can hit play and really tune into that Venusian creative flowing energy. I've also got the tuning forks on there to really help you, land it in and open up that heart center. So thank you again so much, everyone. I will see you next week for another episode of the Weekly Freak. Take care, everyone, and have a beautiful week ahead.